Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yet another testing video. I know. If you want a tutorial, just let me know what tutorial you want. However, today's video is inspired by Soph Does Nails series that she does on her channel. And what she does is, for example, if we take the primer one, she applied primer on one half of her face and didn't apply the primer on the second half of her face and wore it throughout the day to test whether primers actually do help. Drawing inspiration from that, that's what I will be doing today. I will be using an actual eyeshadow base on one side of my face and then using what I always do, which is a concealer, to prime my lid on the other side of my face. I'm essentially doing first impressions on the P.Louise base. I got the shade 0.5 to find out what I think of this and whether it does look better or not than my concealer. I guess you'll have to keep on watching. I always start with my brows these days. I fill them in with eyelaw pomade in blonde and then I carve them out with my concealer. However, today on one side I will be carving them out with the P.Louise base and priming my lid that way, and the other side, like I always do it, Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair. So I'm going to start with my collection. So I'm actually going to start with my Collection Lasting Perfection on my left eye, but it's your right. And I like to use the one that's in the concealer. The reason why I like to use this particular concealer is that it doesn't dry out my skin, but it is quite matte. It's not like too drying and it's not too wet. And I always like to pat on my lid with my finger. I can control how much I put on that way. So straight away, I don't like the fact that it's a squeezy tube and I have to use a separate brush. I know that means I'm lazy, but being honest, I'm going to take half a pea size, like 3 or 4 grains of rice, and I'm taking a flat brush. It feels like a concealer so far, but I feel like it's a lot more sheer. Alright, okay. I had to take a lot on my brush to get the opacity that I wanted, and all of my P.Louise base is gone from my hand really. I think they are very similar. The P.Louise base is a little bit more wet still. However, my concealer side already started creasing a little bit. What I want to use today is a lot of bright colours. I'm going to be using Be Perfect Carnival palette. Okay, never mind, the P.Louise base is creasing as well. Let's go. I'm going to take 305 from Real Techniques, Keen, the yellow shade. I'm putting that slightly above my crease. By the way, I'm not doing anything differently than I would normally. Like, I'm going to put my shadows just as I would on a normal day. Let's see how the shadow performs on this side. Hopefully my eye makeup won't be too different. My eye might be just ever so slightly brighter on this side. I feel like, yes, maybe. I'm now going to take Foolish, the salmon-y shade, on another fluffy brush, and I'm putting that in the crease. And again, I feel like this side is a little bit more vibrant. Essential crease brush and Wifey, the dark pink. I'm going to take a little bit of Wasted, the purple shade. This particular purple is really good and it does come out very pigmented. However, some purples aren't too good, so I guess having a base like this could help you with getting the colour out of that shadow. I'm going to take Foolish on my lid. I've got a driving lesson after this. I wonder what my instructor will say or think. It's the first lesson I've got with him. I mean, so far the shadows layer brilliantly and they blend really well. They haven't clinged onto anything. I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to see a massive difference in how the colours look on the eye. They're just not as vibrant, and I don't know, they're just not as vibrant. I think when it comes to a colourful look like this, having the colours being very vibrant is what you want. I mean, I can get them to a similar finish by just layering the shadow on my concealer side. I just don't need to do it on this one, and I don't have that highlight there because the P.Louise base is a little bit lighter, but that's okay. I'm going to clean up my under eye a little bit, sharpen this edge. This is the P.Louise side, this is the concealer side. I can see a difference. This is a lot more true to colour. Today for my foundation I'm using the collection Lasting Perfection Weightless Foundation yet again. I did really enjoy it. I know it's not long lasting, but I might use a setting spray today just to keep it in place. I thought this might happen. I've got a couple of dry patches. That's the only disadvantage of this foundation. It really is matte. So if you do have dry patches, it will try and pick it up. See? I saw a couple of videos on Instagram where people actually apply P.Louise on their bottom lid and do it that way, but I think I'm just going to stick with this. P.Louise seems very, very creamy, and I'm worried that it might crease in my fine lines under my eyes, so I'm just going to stick with what I know, okay? I'm pretty sure many of you actually think the same way. I don't know, actually, now I look at it, they look the same. I think it might have been the blue under my eyes making it look a little bit different. What do you think? As always, I'm setting my eyes with RCMA No Colour Powder. Yeah, the foundation really does not like my dry patches. I like the smell of this. I mean, obviously I don't have the P.Louise base on this side, but I will finish the rest of my makeup. Okay, I'm done with my makeup. And I filmed another video. What do you think? I know my lashes are really long today. These are the honey lashes in Princess Pie. I do love them. I might have to buy another pair because I cut this one a little bit too short. I am surprised how much difference I can see. It might not seem like it on camera. When it comes to blending, it was the same. It was honestly the same. I mean, they do look very similar. The only disadvantage of this base, which I do love and I will carry on using, is that it is £10, and not only that, you have to pay $4.99 for shipping, which is quite a lot. If you compare this to my regular concealer, which I use as a base, this particular one has 6.5 milliliters, this has 15 milliliters, and they probably would add up to roughly the same price. So if I had to buy kind of almost 3 of these, it would probably be the same price as this. I can use this both as a base and as a concealer. This is only a base, but on the other hand, it does look a little bit better. I could not understand the hype, but now I do. I really, really like this. And I hope you have enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Ignore what I look like, ignore my greasy hair. I just thought I'll do a quick check-in. This is my eyelids after 10 hours. Both of them have creased. As a reminder, this is my P.Louise side, this is my regular Collection Lasting Perfection concealer side. Where you can see that shine, that's where it collected and it broke up. The shadow, I can just use my finger to fix it. NYX Milk Liner held up really well. If you need a white liner that will literally hold up for 10 hours or more, this is a good one. I mean, the shadows look equally as bright as they did at the beginning. It's just that, you know, there was a little bit of oiliness that came through. There you go, that's an update. I hope to see you next time.